Do you believe that something seemingly harmless, a habit you've always thought was good for your health, could quietly put you at risk for a stroke while you sleep? I'm not talking about smoking. I'm not talking about sugar or greasy fast food. I'm talking about nuts, the very foods so many people call superfoods for the heart and brain. In my more than 35 years working with patients over the age of 50, I've seen more heartbreaking stories than I can count. People who went to bed feeling perfectly fine and woke up unable to move one arm, with slurred speech, a confused gaze, or worse, they never woke up at all. And here's what weighs on me the most. They all believed they were living a healthy life. They exercised, they ate right, and every night before bed, they treated themselves to a handful of nuts they thought were doing them good. But after age 60, the body isn't the same as it was at 30 or 40. Blood pressure becomes more unpredictable, especially at night. Blood gets thicker and flows more slowly, simply because we drink less water and move less while we sleep. And our arteries grow stiffer, less elastic, and more fragile under any kind of pressure. Combine these changes with one seemingly small mistake, eating the wrong type of nuts at the wrong time, and you may unknowingly open the door to a silent storm in your brain. I want you to stay with me in this video, because what I'm about to share could completely change the way you think about eating nuts. I'll show you which nuts can be your best friend during the day, but turn into your worst enemy at night, and most importantly, how you can still enjoy them without putting your health on the line. If you're watching this and you or someone you love is over 60, please share this right away, because one small habit change could make the difference between life and death. And now, I want you to picture this. You're lying in your familiar bed, your body relaxed, your heartbeat slowing down, but deep inside, each drop of blood is moving slower, thicker, and the pressure inside your blood vessels is quietly rising, bit by bit, until the unexpected happens. Are you ready to find out how something like this could start with nothing more than a small handful of nuts? I still remember it so clearly. The story of James, a 8-year-old patient from Texas. He didn't come to see me because of anything serious, just a regular checkup. James was a disciplined man. He walked every morning, ate plenty of vegetables, kept red meat to a minimum, and above all, he believed nuts were medicine for the heart and brain. Every night, around 9 p.m., while watching the news, he would treat himself to a handful of cashews and a few walnuts. He told me, "Doctor, I read that walnuts are good for the brain and cashews are good for the heart. I eat them every day so I can live longer." I smiled and nodded, but inside, I knew I needed to ask, "When do you usually eat them?" When he said, "About an hour before bed," my concern began to grow. Just 2 months later, his wife called me in tears. "Dr. Robert, this morning I tried to wake him up, but he didn't respond. When the paramedics came, they said he'd had a stroke in his sleep." That was the moment I wished I had convinced him sooner. It's not that nuts are bad, but the timing of when he ate them had quietly put his body in a dangerous position. You see, after 60, the body changes in ways we often can't see from the outside. Blood pressure, which should dip slightly at night, can instead spike sharply between 3 and 5 a.m. in many older adults. Blood becomes thicker while we sleep, because we move less and often drink less water in the evening to avoid getting up at night. Over time, arteries grow stiff and lose their elasticity. Like an old garden hose that's dried out, just a bit of extra pressure can cause a crack, or rupture. Now, imagine this. You eat a type of nut high in salt or slow-digesting fats right before bed. As you lie still in bed, the salt holds onto water, increasing blood volume. The fats slow your circulation. And if that nut contains compounds like oxalates or selenium, your blood can become even stickier. All of these factors combine, and in the moment when your body is at its most vulnerable, a silent stroke can happen. The scary part is, you won't feel a thing. No pain, no warning. You're just asleep. And sometimes, you don't wake up. But I'm not telling you this to scare you. I'm telling you so you'll know that just changing one small habit can dramatically lower your risk. In the next part, I'll share which nuts seem like good friends during the day, but can turn into traitors at night, including some you might be eating every day. You know, I often tell my patients that food is a lot like people. Most have a good side and a bad side. The question is, when do you meet them? A friend who's wonderful during the day might unintentionally cause trouble for you in the middle of the night. And nuts are no different. Brazil nuts. I call these the silent giants of the nut world. Just 2 small Brazil nuts can give you over 400% of the selenium your body needs for the entire day. During the day, when you're active, your body can process some of that extra selenium. But at night, when detox slows down, the excess selenium builds up, making your platelets stickier and your blood thicker. Imagine traffic jams on an old, fragile bridge. It only takes one car losing control for everything to collapse. Salted almonds. Raw almonds are a wonderful gift, but when they're roasted with salt, it's a different story. Just one small handful already gives you more than 200 milligrams of sodium. And let's be honest, who stops at one handful? Salt holds on to water, increasing blood volume. And between 3 and 5 a.m., the very time older adults are most likely to have dangerous blood pressure spikes. That extra volume can create risky pressure inside arteries that have lost their flexibility. Many of my patients don't even realize they've doubled their daily sodium limit in just one evening snack. Cashews. They look smooth and creamy, but cashews are high in oxalates, compounds that bind with calcium to form tiny crystals. When I've looked at the blood vessels of patients who regularly snack on cashews at night, I've seen microscopic scratches along the vessel walls like pipes being worn down by sand. During the day, your body can manage this better. But at night, when blood moves more slowly, those crystals can stick more easily, increasing inflammation and blockage risk. Salted pistachios. Crunchy, flavorful, addictive, but also trouble in disguise. You already know the risks of salt. On top of that, the slow-digesting fats in pistachios pull blood toward your digestive system, reducing the amount flowing to your brain during sleep. For people with already weakened vessels, that's a dangerous double hit. Sunflower seeds. Tiny and innocent looking, but they hide 3 big problems. Too much salt, high omega-6 fats that promote inflammation, and often they're roasted in industrial oils that add oxidative stress. The most dangerous part? They're so easy to eat, mindlessly cracking them one after another while watching television, and before you know it, the whole bag is gone. One patient once laughed and told me, "Doc, I only eat sunflower seeds to pass the time." But that time was slowly wearing down the blood vessels in his brain. Walnuts. In the morning, walnuts are a gift for your brain, rich in omega-3 second, anti-inflammatory, and great for memory. But at night, especially before bed, their slow-digesting fats draw blood toward the stomach and trigger cortisol, the stress hormone which disrupts sleep and makes blood pressure harder to control. And a restless night's sleep lays the foundation for many health problems, including a higher risk of stroke. I want you to picture your body like a city at night. During the day, every road your blood vessels are busy and flowing smoothly. But when night falls, the city goes to sleep, traffic slows down, and some of the main roads become more fragile than ever. For people over 60, nighttime isn't just a time to rest. It's when three tightening grips quietly squeeze your circulatory system. Grip number 1, unstable blood pressure. When you're young, blood pressure usually dips slightly while you sleep, then rises again in the morning. But after 60, that natural rhythm can get flipped upside down. Many of my patients who track their blood pressure have discovered that it spikes sharply between 3 and 5 a.m. This is the very moment when blood vessels already thinner and less elastic can be pushed to their breaking point. Grip number 2, thicker blood. You see, our blood isn't just water, it's a living river, filled with cells, proteins, fats. When we sleep, we move less, drink less, and our kidneys filter more slowly. If you've eaten something high in salt or fat before bed, that river becomes thicker, slower, and stickier. And thick blood is like heavy trucks crossing a weak bridge. The risk of collapse is so much higher. Grip number 3, stiffer arteries. Over time, our blood vessels lose their flexibility. I often compare them to a rubber garden hose left out in the sun for years, hard, brittle, and needing only a little extra pressure to crack. At night, if your blood pressure rises from a salty or fatty snack, those hoses can tear or cause plaques to break loose, leading to a blockage. When all three of these grips tighten at once, your body is in its most vulnerable state. If you happen to eat the wrong kind of nut at the wrong time, it's like piling another sandbag onto a bridge that's already under too much weight. This is why so many strokes happen during sleep. No warning, no pain, just silence. And when you wake up, everything is different. You know, I never want my patients to live in fear of food. Nuts are still a gift from nature packed with nutrients. Great for the heart, great for the brain. But the secret is how and when you eat them. Let me share with you the golden rules I follow myself, and that I recommend to my patients, especially those over 60. 1. Eat them in the morning or early afternoon. Your body is like an engine. In the morning and early afternoon, that engine is running strong. Your digestion is more efficient. Your blood flows better. Your metabolism is active. This is the golden time to enjoy a handful of nuts, walnuts, raw almonds, unsalted cashews, or pumpkin seeds. At night, the engine slows down. If you add extra workload, it has to strain harder to keep up. 2. Avoid eating within 2-3 hours of bedtime. I had a patient named Martha, 72, who believed that eating a few nuts before bed would help her sleep better. But what actually happened was she often woke up in the middle of the night, feeling overheated and with her heart racing. We simply cut out the late-night snacks, and within just 2 weeks, her sleep improved dramatically. When you give your digestive system a break before bed, you allow your blood to focus on the body's most important nighttime job, nourishing and repairing your brain. 3. Choose clean nuts, no salt, no added oils. Many packaged nuts on the market are loaded with salt, sugar, or industrial oils. These not only strip away the natural benefits of the nuts, but also add extra strain on your heart and blood vessels. Go for raw, plain nuts, or lightly roast them yourself without salt or oil, so you control exactly what's going into your body. 4. Soak nuts before eating, if possible. I know this sounds a little fussy, but soaking nuts in water for a few hours before eating can reduce compounds like oxalates, making them easier to digest and helping your body absorb more nutrients. This is especially helpful with almonds, walnuts, and cashews. 5. Stay hydrated, especially in the afternoon. Many older adults cut back on water in the evening because they don't want to get up at night. But remember, dehydration makes your blood thicker, which raises your risk of blood clots while you sleep. The solution? Drink enough water from morning through late afternoon, and only drink a moderate amount in the early evening. I often tell my patients, the right food at the right time is medicine. The right food at the wrong time can be poison. Nuts can be a wonderful companion on your journey to healthy aging, but you need to invite this friend to the table at the right time. I want to tell you about Linda, a 65-year-old woman who lives in Oregon. She loves to cook especially healthy meals, and almost every single day, she ate nuts, walnuts, almonds, cashews, and especially Brazil nuts. She usually had them in the evening while reading a book or watching a movie with her husband. When I first met her, she didn't have any serious symptoms, but she did complain about not sleeping deeply, sometimes waking up with mild morning headaches, and having occasional episodes of her heart suddenly racing at night. The symptoms were subtle, so she assumed it was just getting older. We ran some tests and tracked her blood pressure over 24 hours. The results surprised both of us. Her blood pressure spiked sharply around 3-4 a.m. Her blood was more viscous, thicker than average, and her selenium levels were slightly above the safe range, which lined up perfectly with her habit of eating Brazil nuts at night. I explained to her that nuts aren't the problem, it's the timing that matters. Then I suggested a simple experiment. Move all her nut consumption to the morning or before 2 p.m. Cut back on salted nuts and replace them with raw, unsalted varieties. Stay well hydrated from morning through the early evening. Just 3 weeks later, she called me, her voice full of excitement. "Doctor, I'm sleeping straight through the night now. No more waking up in the middle of it. I wake up feeling so much clearer in the morning, and I've been checking my blood pressure. It's been much more stable." She told me the best part was, she still got to enjoy nuts every single day. She just ate them at the right time. She didn't feel deprived of something she loved, and she was gaining far more in terms of her health. I share her story to show you that sometimes just one small change in your daily habits can open the door to a whole new chapter of health. No complicated medications, no extreme diets. You see, we've always believed that nuts are golden foods for our health. And that's true, but only if you eat them the right way at the right time. After 60, your body doesn't run like it did at 30 or 40. Blood pressure becomes more unpredictable. Blood gets thicker. Arteries lose their flexibility. A handful of nuts eaten at the right time can be a health booster, but eaten at the wrong time, especially before bed, they can become the drop that overflows the cup, leading to an event you never wanted. I want you to remember 3 things today. Not every food that's good during the day is good at night. One small change in your habits can make a huge difference in your health. Your body is unique. Listen to it and adjust to its rhythm. I've seen many patients like James and Linda who simply moved their nut eating to the morning or early afternoon and saw remarkable improvements in sleep, blood pressure, memory, and a lower risk of stroke. No expensive medications, no complicated treatments, just understanding the truth and acting on it. If you're watching this and you're over 60, or you have parents or loved ones in that age range, I hope you share this video with them, because one simple share could save a night's sleep and maybe even a life. And if you learned something new today, type the number 1 in the comments so I know you're helping spread this message. If you'd like to discover more safe, science-backed eating and lifestyle tips for life after 50, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Because what I share here isn't just knowledge, it's real-life experience from real stories made just for you. Remember, living longer only truly matters if your mind and heart are still right there with you. And it all starts with the smallest choices beginning today.